Hello,
Hey, Nenad.
we're finally here.
We are, at last.
It takes us some time, but I think there is a right place, right time, right moment for each one of us. And because we are living in the stages, each one of us going through a different stage, I think you're coming in the perfect stage when I'm ready more with the project, more people are aligned more with the project, you can bring your value and in creation of something unique.
I'm excited. I think it's really cool to have the potential for all these different people to bring their own value to it.
Yeah.
And obviously the amount of impact I can have on so many people around the world is huge. So I want to start with just understanding how you got into all of this, but first into movement whatsoever. Because you just 7 years ago, you were barely able to do a handstand, right?
Exactly.
And then before that, you were doing professional roller
Almost 20
skating.
years. 20 years I was aggressive inline skate rollerblades. My first contest, I was 16, and that was, I think, in 1996. And I was 16 years old, and I had a sponsor by Coca-Cola.
No way.
We asked the day before to Coca-Cola to give us the sponsor. I was like, okay, just take it, take the t-shirts and go. So that's actually a powerful question because most of the time, if I will try to see what my life and what my purpose become now, it's totally different than when I was even a few years ago. Let's say that I was always a skinny kid. When it comes to me as a personality, I always like to joke, but I was never serious about things that I was doing. I was always skinny and always never able to protect myself from bullies, from stronger people. I was always the guy who liked to connect other people, but I never knew that I need to start taking action of my life to protect myself in the future. So I was kind of living into, okay, I don't care what people think about me. I'm just gonna be me, be like a clown of situational people who make people laugh. The guy who make people laugh. Mm-hmm. Because in my own journey, even into private life, I was going through same like other people, but different challenges that show you how much we are serious, how much we are going into pain, and how much we forget that life can be very simple, very beautiful, and how much your impact can change someone's life, and how much your smile maybe can change someone's day, someone's life. So it's powerful.
When did that first strike you that your ability to uplift people with comedy or just lightheartedness was able to actually change them?
I think I had a kind of a problem when I was in the school. This is why I see my son he's very active. I'm hyperactive. I don't like to sit so much in one place. For me, sitting in one place, even now that I'm 43, I need to wake up 4:30 every morning, even if it's Sunday, because I would like to do something from my day. Then maybe I will lose myself in the day. But I'm not able, same in school, I'm not able to sit, so I always like to do something. So I have to kind of go out, create this incredible, I always create something in a school that is a place when people start laughing, and obviously teachers get disturbed by what they was teaching. So for them it was really disturbing, for me it was very funny. But in the same time, my colleagues, how do you say, they really appreciate that because it was too much serious. Like from the school when you're young, you're learning something that, would you really need to use this in your life? History, who wrote the history? It's written by us. Is it true? I don't know. I don't think so. So for me, mathematics, amazing, but does this really give me something? So I never realized that before, but I think that I was never into what is the society try to teach you and give you. So I tried kind of to create my own way of learning and teaching. And that bring me to kind of be a good kid, but in the same time, try to a little bit be different. I don't like being normal. I mean, normal in the sense of I like to do something different and unique.
They say humor often carries the most truth, which is why kings would always have a jester beside them to interject
Exactly.
reality, which is not serious. It's not as strict as we like to make it out to be. And
by the rules that we have.
Yeah.
And
So you liked connecting people. It sounded like, so you experienced some issues with bullies, and you turned at first to humor as your self-defense?
Yes, exactly.
Tell me
So
about that.
what happened is when I was 7 years old, I lived with my mother and father, and because I was a very active kid and I like to kind of use the same like now, use all my surroundings as a playground. This is why I fell in love with bodyweight. Use whatever you have to create a movement. And I think I did something very strong in that moment that made my father get angry, and he catch me from my throat. And in that moment, my mom saw me and took my brother and me and go away from him, go away in completely different city. So this is my remembering of my childhood. And after that, I lived, I think, around 9 years into completely different city, not anymore with my mother and father. This is when we get separated the first time. Seeing something like that happen, I was trying to, I know that many people are trying to go into past. A lot of people are trying to heal from the trauma, going to past, but I simply wanted to create, to don't be defined by the past, but simply to create the new future. Now, nothing against my father because he passed away a few years ago, but I think in that moment, he could only give me the best he could with the knowledge that he had. And something simply sparked his emotion. And this is also why, when we're going to talk about why body connection, why body, mind, and soul, well, most of us living in these patterns where a simply trigger can completely, a simple choice that you are not even aware of, can lead you to making a move, same what he did with us, and then simply losing us for all his life. So it's something very powerful. I think that was the first trigger for me to say, okay, I don't want to be into this negative state, and I don't want to justify whatever he did. He had his reason, but I also don't want to blame him, because I think that he also didn't realize what it was and how it was. But for me, it was like, okay, I don't want to go into negativity, or I don't want the, how you say, the fight or the anger to be the cause of my life. I want to create something new that is happiness. And I think that was something that, since that was 7, from there I said, okay, I want to be the one who now inspire people, but before was make people laugh. Because giving a smile to someone, I think, is a very pressure. Like really giving a smile, not being a clown. That's beautiful. This is why we say kings. They always have this guy who come inside and give them. So yeah, it was powerful, but I choose to don't go backward and feel about that anymore, but simply to create my, because we are able to break the patterns, right, to whatever happened.
Powerful.
So that was the first step.
I could easily go into a lot of those rabbit trails about how you first decided to have that perspective and reaction to it rather than carrying on that anger and hate. We don't have to go into all the trauma unless you want to.
Yeah,
I think it is a little interesting.
I want to take something that you have a good point. I realized with my, this is why we're going into something powerful. I see that as a humans, right? We when something happened to us, most of us have this tendency to kind of hold something for a very long time. It can be just something very simple that maybe for me, I have a whole movie in my head, but for you, it was just something, a joke said. So now I'm gonna go 20, 30 years of my life carrying this resentment, right? Thinking even bad about you, but for you, it was just nothing else than simply just like a joke. So what I mean by that is, I think one of the most powerful things that as a humans we have is forgiveness. When you forgive to the other person, doesn't matter who it is, what this person done to you, there is limit for everything. But the moment you let go, it's you. You're free. You get free. And the moment you're free, actually there is a story in Copenhagen, because when I came here, my job, my vision, I didn't actually even have a purpose, was completely different. And now it brings me to go in a completely different way. So I'm gonna go back to the history. May I?
Yeah, of course.
So after from 7 years until I think 15 years, I was living separate with my mom. And then we also started living in separate houses because I met the guy who was very fun in that time, but he liked to do things that was not legal and things that, so it means breaking into people's house, stealing eggs, doing things that I think has 12 years, 13 years in that time, I was living in Serbia, was something kind of funny, but very, very stupid if I will think it now. But it was just, I find that person in that time giving me some new experience. And it's not about him, what we was doing, but it was something completely different. So then the court decided to separate me and my brother. So I went to live with my mother and my brother went to live with my father. So meaning of the family now I'm building the family. And I never have that. I never had a Christmas because we was all separate since I was 7 years old. And then after that, what happened, one day, my mom and my brother say, okay, we will go to Italy simply to work for a few months, only 3 months. And then we're coming back with more money and then we can build something together. After 3 months, only my brother come back. My mother tried to stay in Italy, find a way to make legal documents so that she can one day bring me and my brother and to give us a better life. In that time, in 95, 94, in Serbia, it was a very strange time. Serbia, even now, is in the European Union. So it's a really strange times. And what happened is that she managed to stay there for 2 years, and I was still going to school. I was a better person, and this is where I find about rollerblades. So first, my first getaway from not thinking about bullies and try to go away from that is to give him positive energy and smile to people. My second step was, okay, now that I have something from me, I have no aspiration, I have no desire. In that time was, I think, 92, 93, 94, 1993. I don't have anything to do. There was nothing exciting. It's a really small town in Serbia. I find a guy, we met, and he had these rollerblades. Did you have rollerblades? Okay. So there is this kid who coming from Sweden, I think, with these incredible rollerblades, and he started going around. I was like, that's stupid, you know? And then the guy say, oh, look, I have one more. Would you like to try? So I tried this, and in that moment, it gave me a freedom. Like, when I say freedom, most of us, right, we wake up in the day, the mind already start thinking about problems, about things, about what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do, now even more, task, responsibilities, kids, no kids, family, pay the rent and all the stuff. But before, when you're really present into what you do, this is what rollerblades in that time give me. There is no problems. I mean, in that time I was a kid, but the only thing I had in that moment is simply freedom. There is no thoughts. Positive, negative, food, no food, money, no money. We didn't care about anything. We just put them and we go around. And I managed to do that for 20 years. And I get to the point when I was pretty okay, but I managed to destroy my body. So this is where the movement slowly get in. One thing, before I managed to, when I just started learning about rollerblades, there was a small war coming into the town. So 95, I think I was 16. We was outside with rollerblades, two friends, playing around.
This is Italy or Serbia?
They were Serbia.
Okay.
And we were simply, in that time I also learned, I already make my first contest, so I learned how to do 540s, like 1.5, jumping, catching, and then we was always going into a rails. So you have a rail, you have you put some walks, and then you create tricks. So it's really weird, but it's really nice.
I've seen people do it. It's crazy hard.
Extreme sport. So we was at a bus station doing this as a kid. I think it was like 5 p.m. something, and the siren from the military siren start playing, and for me that was actually the first time ever hearing something like that. We never saw the war, we never had anything like that. It was simply normal times. Seems like at that time there was a NATO. Where are you from? You're American? So there was a NATO who wanted to take Kosovo, that was technically next to Serbia, and they had some kind of a disagreement because there was whatever nuclear anyway, and they started attacking Serbians just to send them a warning. So they wanted to send us a warning in that time to simply scare them to say, okay, take it, you're stronger. But what happened at that time that I was there. So with my rollerblades, without even having a chance to go home, I need to run with this friend into a safe house or whatever it was and stay there for all night. No shoes, no nothing, no clothes. I was simply with my rollerblades and kid. I was 15, I think. So that was a really traumatic, strong experience. And then we had a radio playing. The next day, there was a panic because we didn't know what is going to happen. Seems like the next day was calm. I managed to go home. And then I said, okay, it was just something kind of a scary, but nothing serious. So I took the bus and I go 2.5 hours to find a friend in another town. I take my rollerblades, I go to another town, and I'm simply there alone. No one. In that time, we didn't have any phone. There was no phone, no messaging, no nothing. That was in a big city named Novi Sad. Novi Sad is the second city after Belgrade, really famous. So we are walking, and I think it was like 9 p.m. We were walking on close to the river, the famous river, and we hear siren again. What happened is the time that we see the missile launching from the plane who was passing up. So I'm walking, I'm 15 years old with a friend, no parents. My mother is in Italy, my father was in Serbia, nobody knew where I was. I just took the bus by myself. And we are seeing this missile passing overhead. We kind of retreat ourselves into the house door, and the missile, the bomb, hit exactly 20 meters or 50 meters next to us into the bridge. So in that night, they tried to scare this city and they bombarded few bridges that connect the town with the town. So they put a bomb on one side, on another side, and there were still cars in the middle. Well, I was next to that bridge that night. So that was one of the most traumatic experience that I had. I managed to sleep there, and immediately next day, my mother called me from Italy and say, I'm coming to take you. First of all, I was 16, so I had a girlfriend, I had my school, I didn't have a private life so much. But my mother, who was 2 years away, living in Italy, she had 1 week to come and get me. So it means in 1 week, I have to say bye to whoever I knew, to my girlfriend at that time, and to go to Italy. What did I know about Italy? Well, I just know about the Italian boots, the pizza, spaghetti, and all this fancy stuff. Mm-hmm. Once when she came to see me, after a few days, we went to Italy. Well, I find myself 16 years old in another country, another town, not speaking any Italian, yes, speaking English. I find out that this Italian place was nothing else than the B language. It was German and Italian together, so it's close to Alps. Mm-hmm. Everything was written in 2 languages. The city or the town was really cold. It's not like Italian, nice city, hey, ciao, bello. It was really kind of, mix of 2 languages, and it's under Alps, so it was cold. So I didn't even realize what happened. I find myself with no friends, the only one thing I had was my pair of rollerblades. And this is where I think my second or third life begins. And I spent 17 years of my life in that city. 17 years.
Same city?
Yeah, it was a small town, I think with 4,000 people.
Wow. So you spent more time there than you'd have even been
Exactly.
in Serbia.
So I was born in Serbia and lived there for 16 years. And then I spent 17 years. So it means when I was 36, I came to Thailand. And the good thing about this, you asked me a question actually about the movement, like how did you start, what bring you to movement? No, well, first of all, I find a passion, something that was stronger than me, and for almost 20 years, every time I put these rollerblades, I have no limits. I was jumping from the balconies. I was crazy, and then I broke my leg, and both of my bones came out. And I still have 11 screws in my leg. I have broken elbow. This is the maximum that I can go and bend. My wrist doesn't fully bend. This is why I need to use parallels. This is why I create the B. But still, nothing changed me, and nothing actually, this gave me even more fuel to say, okay, in all these 20 years, I find some passion that was incredibly beautiful, but I didn't understand that I was disconnected from my body. I keep creating injuries because first thing, I didn't know that I have to warm up before I move or before I do such an aggressive sport. When you jump from the balcony, your knees, your ankles, your joints, your ligaments, they're gonna scream. And if you do it a few times a week, same like training. So, and I was really strong, I will say, I become very good, but I realized that the more I grow with age, the more, it's same like with training, if you focus only on the strength, you will get tight. You have to work through mobility, flexibility, to open your body. And if you just work through strength and even mobility, well, your mind will start playing tricks on you. Mm-hmm. This is why the balance of body, mind, and soul.
So, when you first found freedom, you said, was first through comedy, through bringing people lightness.
Exactly, and this always stay.
Yeah, I can
exactly.
Tell. Every time we're driving around, you're making jokes.
And I'm trying, but I think this is the beauty. We're all unique.
Agreed. Yeah. I think I've even heard some people say that the most common forms of enlightenment are when people are laughing. It's in that moment of like pure, just undiluted.
Life is already serious, like for everyone. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you're Clark Kent, Justin Bieber. It's what I'm trying to say for all of us. The moment we wake up, there are many personal challenges. And then you also get surrounded by people, can be part of your family, can be members of your family, can be your friends, your closest friends. And you need to absorb an energy from everyone trying to help them, so you get even more triggers. So it's really hard nowadays. That's why the body connection was actually born, to simply give a chance to people to say, okay, this is why the logo is simply by surrendering, you say, okay, well, I understand that nothing wrong with me, but if I see in today's world, right, we're in 2025, we're the most advanced generation that ever lived. We have things that nobody ever dreamed of. We have flying cars, we have drones, we have cameras, we have amazing microphones, wireless microphones. But the problem is that we are more disconnected than ever, right? We're more depressed, we're more anxious, we are more disconnected, because disconnected we have now these beautiful devices in our hand, right? So it's not even us talking. It's me watching my stories and you watching your stories, and then we lose this connection. Mm.
Yeah, it's almost like all the inventions and technological advances are simply directing our awareness even more and more externally. And so just because we have more comfort and more cool gadgets, it doesn't mean that we're actually in connection with...
You say something good, comfort. Yeah. So this is why when it comes to movement today, or we are like chairs, this is something invented by us. That if you see, the chair is not something where even if you sit for 1 hour and you think you're sitting good, there is a lot of damage, more damage that you do to your body than if you will sit in the deep squat, how they sit a long time ago, right? Mm-hmm. So today, everything starts from even breathing. We even start breathing wrong. We never breathe right. Breathing from the chest, don't even feel, right? This is why awareness, you talk about awareness. We're doing things we're not even aware. We're just automatic, you know?
So when did you first realize that disconnection? Because, you found your freedom in the comedy, which is bringing people out of this, dogmatic prison of their mind into a moment of just joy, right? That's freedom. And then you found freedom through rollerblading, which requires a lot of balance, full body engagement. Exactly. You have to have extremely high degree of proprioceptive awareness of where your body is in space as you're doing these tricks and moving, like incredible body awareness, which makes you super present. You don't have time to think.
It's a personal challenge with yourself also.
Yeah, you have to develop extreme focus on the internal sensations with a vision of what you want to happen in order to create, make your body do what it does.
Exactly.
So I'm curious, that seems like that would be a pretty high degree of freedom. So what made you find this disconnection between, Like I'm not actually taking care of myself. I'm not actually connected to my body, even though I'm performing at a very high level. Like,
That's an amazing question. So if I talk about stages in life, right? I have this stage when I was little, then I moved to the city, and then this is the second stage. The third stage for me when I moved to Italy. Then I still have my rollerblades, and how much I go with it. Well, I have the real life behind it. Same like now. You have your passion, but you have your real life behind. So it means I started working when I was 16. I need to provide for myself and from the family, for myself more. And I was going through many works. I think my first job was working in a factory when they produce food, like Italian food, and I simply working on machines, And so it means I was working from 8 to 5, 5 days a week, I think. And then after when I finish work, maybe I will go with my rollerblades. And the weekend I will spend with my rollerblades. So I need to first kind of destroy my body, really, and then try to kind of heal my body, but actually even destroy more. Because when I'm doing my sport, it's my passion. Nothing takes away this from me. But I still carry the movement that I was doing before, and so much stress when it comes to overwhelming stress. And then I did it for many years. Now, there is a stage in this 17 years that actually is even more interesting of what and how I go through the movement. All this work that I was doing, in the same time I was learning Italian. Imagine that you're now coming to Thailand, I say Thailand, but it's not the same, because Thai is really difficult. But imagine you go to Italy, you have to start working. So if you're lucky, they will speak English, or you need to learn Italian. In the same time, I'm building my life. I don't even know who I am. I don't have any friends. I don't speak a language. There is so many things going on in the same time. I'm adolescent, like I'm 16, so I need to transit into teenager, and so many powerful emotional things are coming. And from there, I also lost myself in the same time. When I mean lost myself, so I have my sport, that was the best thing that I ever have in that time. But then I have to work to provide, and then I find smoking. I was smoking for almost 20 years.
Cigarettes or marijuana?
Even marijuana, yes. But in that time that I was little, I find a group of people that we're still friends and everything. But imagine you're working all day, you're coming back, but you're tired. What are you gonna do? Well, let's watch a movie. Let's sit in a small cafe and simply drinking, not shots, but drinking something, spending time together. But this is the life that we had. You wait for the Friday and Saturday so that you can go out, you can drink, then you will recover because you're gonna feel hangover. But then you're working so much that finally you're gonna have your holidays, 1 week of holiday, where again, you're gonna go and eat whatever you can, drink as much as you can, to then come back to the normal life and then find yourself with even more work than before. So all of this, it was a really big bridge for me to learn the language, to really become the master. So now I have an Italian citizen. I even studied in university when I become the salesperson.
Manager?
Yeah, no, after. But then I even win the salesman of the month when I was making a lot of money, because then I started working door to door, and I was selling the cleaning system, and that was really powerful. And this is, I think, that was the point when I started interacting with people. When it's 5 seconds that count. If somebody opened the door for you, first thing they will say, I don't buy anything, because come on, everybody have their own life. But you have 5 seconds to make an impression, So that was something that I started learning about the important carpets, the paintings, Then I was like, because the mentor that I have in that time was very unique. And with the normal job, what you gonna learn? And you can create your career, but it's, maximum you're gonna, it's the same thing. You just keep working more. One day you get more salary and that's it. But then after so many years, I completely started going to work into a different field. And I think this is what opened a little bit my expansion when it comes to communicating with people. And then in the same time, I still have my work, making money, spending a lot. I was obsessed with shopping because I never had anything when I was little. Never. And I never give importance to the money, because when I was small, it was always no. There is no way. Who is gonna give you money? Now it's different time. You can ask for your parents, maybe you can ask for some, it's more easy. But before it was different. Maximum you can have is one ice cream in 1 month. A banana was a luxury, you know? Anyway, with all this happening, I still managed to destroy myself in the weekend, trying still to do some fitness in that time that it was nothing, because I was always skinny. Because if you work so much, you don't have a right nutrition. You never cook, you're just gonna go and eat something easy. Then you destroy yourself in the weekend, well, your body is gonna suffer. Then you go with the rollerblades, where you're just gonna, it's a sport when you really sweat, it's very, like for 2 hours, I'm just sweating and jumping like there is no tomorrow. So how you gonna even build a muscle? How you gonna even build your body? You don't give your body the right nutrients. There's nothing like, so I did it for a long time. And then one day, I simply find a company that it was so high, and I was supposed to do, first it was just teaching the sales agents how to use and sell these tools. And when I get to this company, it was wow. And it was international company. At that time, I was making 40 million euros per month turnover per year. And just to be there, because I know somebody who was working there, was wow. So it was a personal win when I'm thinking where I come from. How did I get there? Like I was left in one small town where I didn't even speak English. When everybody's talking to me, oh, you're just a stranger. And you say, you're from Serbia, you're from here, you're from... This is the problem that we have today. Like, people will judge you no matter what. And this is why the whole system and the whole body connection is all about taking responsibility and taking action for yourself. Give yourself, work on your body, mind, and soul, so that you don't need to pretend to be somebody else or somebody else, right? But you simply start attracting the right people for whatever you want, not to be someone that you're not for somebody else.
So it was that moment stepping into the role at that big company that
exactly
gave you that perspective of, I created this through my decisions, through my own responsibility. I created this exceptional situation. And that's kind of what then began. Like, how long did that career last? And when did you actually
Yeah, that was actually for
Italy?
5 years.
Is that right before you left for
Exactly.
Okay.
And I didn't have to leave the job, but I'm going to then tell you later what happened. But this is the moment when I start realize, wow, you're destroying yourself with the sport that you love, because you don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know that you need to stretch. You need to, your joints are hurting.
So no one was stretching? None of your
People was doing, but people know what they do. I know that I don't have time. I just come there, I have 2 hours, I don't care. Yeah, I just move, I talk with people, maybe smoke a joint and just go. Put some music, Eminem obviously, and go crazy.
Gotcha.
So this still stay. Eminem is still, when I do my handstand push-ups, Eminem is still there. So then I need to take a decision. This is an important job, it's an important company. I have to take action, take responsibility of my life, because now there are people relying on me. There are people who putting, actually in only a few months, they give me to become responsible for the whole brand, for the whole Italy.
Wow.
Because seems like I showed them then, wow, I don't know, when I started, they give me a catalog like this. They call me, two of them, and one was the owner, and he showed me this, this is the machines here, that this can be the concrete, this can be here. And I never used this in my life. I don't even know what it is. And then I said, I'm gonna study this. But I did something different. I didn't study, I studied actually everything, like how many watts, how much it consumed, obviously, and what is the power of the percussion, what is the maximum of drill you can use. But then I realized that this is what everybody knows. I know how mine works. And then I say, you know what? Let me try to see the competition. Like in that time was Hilti, and you have the Bosch and all these brands, but Hilti was the most powerful. So I study whatever machine they have comparing to mine. So when I even have somebody in the front that have this, I already know what his tool can do. So I know where was my points. And then I start becoming very good in this. And I was doing traveling the world in that time, because first start from Italy, going to this amazing salesperson to teach them and teach their clients how to sell. But then, I find myself with big people inside who, know what they're saying, but we was making we was making plans for the next year, for the 5 years, 10 years, the global vision. And that was like, wow, you need to stop smoking, man. You need to, that was the first time I think ever. Then I say, okay, wow, there is much more in this life than simply, living without any purpose. Because this is what most of us are doing.
You got a taste of your potential.
Oh, there is so much, exactly. But no, seriously, because life is already hard. You know that you have to work 9 hours. It's physically it's hard. Mentally can be hard. And then you finish, wow, I need to relax. It's same like movie. Oh, I like to watch Netflix.
Yeah.
But in these 2 hours, what did you give to yourself? Something that tomorrow you will forget, maybe even after tomorrow. What do you have from the experience? Did you have some benefits that is gonna change your life, impact someone else's life? No. So this is where everything started. And then, just to finish with this third chapter of Italy, somehow I feel that I was always unique because I refuse to, even Italy was the most beautiful experience ever. I refuse to accept that the life is that we are born, we work like crazy, so 9 to 5 in that time, and so we go to have a pension. Then when we have a pension, finally we can have a house that we pay all our life, that we can buy a Mercedes, and we can. That was the loop that I refused to believe, and I was like, you know what? I believe there is something more, something without so many rules, and I will find out where. And then one day, one of the friends that I knew, that was my friends that we make many disasters, and he said, look, man, we didn't see us for 14 years because he was the reason when I get to Croatia in holidays, and after next day I broke my leg, and after I broke my leg I need to stop for 1 year. So this is actually when I broke my leg for 1 year, I need to learn what is rehabilitation. Imagine now you have both bones come out. It's an explosion fracture, right? So on one, because it's a big bone, they can put the screws, right, with the metal plate. But on the bone behind, because it's very small, they cannot be behind and need to heal by themselves. So it means you just need to slowly get attached to. For 1 year, you cannot walk. And this is the most important thing you was doing. That was thing that give you the most freedom ever, your life. So that was my first. I broke this. I think it was 2004, and my whole life stopped. So now from working, making money, having everything, doing my sport, everything sport. My mother have to work for me. I cannot contribute. I cannot do anything. I can just stay home and smoke. So before being active to being completely, and this was going for almost a year.
Wow.
And then my whole mind was simply, I want to go back to rollerblades. So the idea was very strong, but I have to learn, okay, how I'm gonna rehabilitate my body now to start moving. And this is same like progressions, and this is why I fell in love with, obsessed with the small things that help you to learn in a different way and obviously get faster to your results. But you have to break these things down into the different stages. So first of all, I need to understand in that point, what was my actual situation? Well, I cannot walk. What can I do? Well, first, wait 1 month, work a little bit on your upper body. Then slowly, when they take off the cast, then slowly, this is what you can do. Then you will slowly move. Then you will slowly put more pressure. And then step by step. After 1 year, I was so skinny. I was, I think, like a skeleton. Because I was still smoking. I didn't have any ambitions. I cannot walk. I'm just laying down and watching movies. And this is what I felt, that my whole world simply go down. And then I say, you know what? I don't think this is me. I have to change something. So go away from the weed. Yes, still be with the friends, but try to a little bit go back. And I start trying to slowly walk, and then I put back my rollerblades, and then I was even more crazy than before. But then I also start moving. I start implementing a little bit of fitness, but I didn't have any experience when it comes to movement. I was going into gym, and I simply see other people moving, and like everybody else, you will repeat what your friend does. Well, he's well trained, and he can do a bench press. What is the bench press? I don't know, laying down, just simply lifting weight. How it works, where the hands go, I don't know. So that was my, I will think the first time ever that life kind of slapped me down, knocked me down, and I need to take a decision. Because when after this came, this was the second time.
I'm just curious about the mindset that created that decision to bounce back. Like, because so much of your identity and sense of self was wrapped up in your ability
Yes.
to move, to be free, to rollerblade, to work, to make money. Like, so much of that was just taken away at an instant. So, like, we don't have to go super deep into it, but I'm curious, like, where did that like light come in from? Like, because you're smoking weed, you're just watching movies, you're sedentary for months and months and months, a full year. Like,
Yes.
where did you find that belief in yourself that you can come back and begin again?
That's a good question. So first thing, what happened to us as humans, I will repeat many times humans, I like that. But is that many times when something, we can choose to change while we're staying in time, right? Because we want to change and do something better. Or most of us don't choose to change and then something bad happen and then you go into suffering and then you're forced to change. What happened to me was not chosen, obviously, but then I accepted and then I was like, wow, it's good. I don't have to work, right? I'm simply gonna be home, rest. But then the more time was passing, I started feeling useless. Mm-hmm. Useless meant you're not a man. You cannot contribute to the house. You cannot. I saw myself in the mirror. I was so skinny. There is not even a chance that I will have a little bit of muscle. My face was completely skinny. There is no, if I will simply sit and watch the movie with my friends smoking weed, the next day we're talking about the movie. You remember that scene when I was there? And then I was like, hey, I was not there. Hey, you was there. And then I understand, wow. You think this is a joke. You think this is you passing time with your friends. You can really, this is how many people lose their mind, they lose their life, and they don't understand that you wake up with no goals. You will never ever, if somebody asked me a time ago, what is your goal? What is your mission? What is your purpose? Well, to survive, to make it today, you know? And I didn't realize that's the most powerful thing, because you just let yourself go and yeah, it's normal, let me just have fun. But you don't realize that you are wasting your life. There is somebody who invests a lot, is your mother, for example, who wanted to give you everything, to work 3 jobs just to simply bring you to Italy so that you can have a better life, you can go away from poverty, and you are taking this away from her and possibility that maybe somebody else will not have, you know? And then I simply say, okay, I wanted to change something. And that time the friend tell me, I'm in Copenhagen and I have a hostel. Would you like to come here and make a business with me? First of all, I didn't even know what is the hostel. Then I look at the computer, like a Copenhagen, just full moon party, what? Mm-hmm. And then I remember I saw a picture. There was people dancing on the sand, and there was a helicopter beneath and filming. And I saw that picture. I was like, whoa, it's like Los Angeles, like, whoa. I don't even know if that picture was real, but that was the picture that said yes. And it's not about a place. I've never been here. I don't know what it was. But I just wanted to give a chance to something more powerful. I believe it's true when you surround the environment, it's very powerful.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who wake up in the morning and you do the same things, repeat the same patterns, well, see same people, go to same places, I strongly believe that result that you're going to have at the end of the day will be the same the day before. So I really wanted to, something was calling me. I didn't know what, and say, okay, you know what? In that time I find a girlfriend and somehow we get married anyway. And I say to her, look, let's go to Thailand. Without even knowing the place, I sold everything, sold everything that I have on my name, take off everything, my car, my this. Yeah, my job was amazing. And when I have an interview of the New Year interview, and when my boss telling me, okay, so this is what we did last year, we did here, so I believe, look, I want to tell you something, I decided to leave. What? And it was powerful for me because it's kind of a reward, because all your life people telling you what you can be, what you cannot be. You're a stranger. You will always be a stranger. You're from here. You're from there. You're nobody. This is the big problem of us today. We're judging people by color, by nationality. We are believing in religions or whatever we have invented by whoever. And I refuse to. Technically, I was Catholic or whatever, they Orthodox, and I refuse to take whatever they give me. I don't care. We're all people coming from the same universe, God, call it whatever you want, planet. But I refuse to believe in church and this and this and this. And I say, okay, I believe there is something out there. I will come to Kopangan and we will make this hostel. And I just came here, and then I was like, okay, and now? What I'm gonna do now? Well, again, number 4, right? I don't know any people. I don't speak any Thai. Yes, I speak English. Yes, I speak Italian. Yes, I speak Serbian. Well, hostel, what is the hostel? Well, typically, first is the job when you need to host, right? Different generations of young people, because hostel is nothing more than young generation coming here for 2-3 days to destroy themselves on the full moon party and then go away. And I was so excited. I didn't care, because I wanted to create something mine, like not to work for somebody, but I wanted to put all that effort that I was good in and simply create something for myself, and in that time my partner. What I didn't realize in the process is that when I came here, well, these young people need to drink. They want you to take a shot with them, because I was at a bar. I was at the reception. I was the one who made check-ins. I was the one who made the online calling, the tours, organizing. I was the man of everything. So then this is why I feel that I have responsibility, and I start drinking less. And I was still smoking. And then in that time, my new lady, because my wife decided she is not happy, she want to leave. So I find myself with somebody that spent 5 years with me, that I believe it was meant to be forever, to completely say that she's unhappy in the place that we choose to be together, and then make me realize that as humans, again, we are meant to evolve, right? And sometimes some of us will stay or even go slowly. So they will stay in the same place, same people, sometimes even backwards. And this is why you realize it's not about that person. You can still love her, she can still love her, but this other person still is never gonna go in the same direction. So she can give you what you need, and you cannot give her for how much you want. So we decide to separate, and this is another time when I felt like something again slapped me. So now I find myself in, again, new town, new country, with 112 people that I need to take care of, without having my wife next to me, and with the partner that I hate. Because in that time I already started fighting with my partner, because he completely changed who he was as a person. Now my only escape here was simply to go to the pier where we have some calisthenics equipment and do my training there. So my real transformation and my real start of movement, when I really start understanding what I was doing, what I really want to do, is going away from all this noise and trying to take care a little bit of myself. Now, at that time, I didn't have any education when it comes to movement. I didn't know how the body works, mechanics, and all of that. I was working a lot, still not eating healthy, so that was another point. I was still skinny. I think it was 72 kilo. Now I'm 84. Wow. Again, didn't know what I was doing, and it was all about surviving the day, you know? Not even know how much water I need to drink in a day, but also noise, because we have a lot of noise. You have to recover, sleep, you know, shut out the noise. And so that was another way. And then I was, okay, how I can now bring this game to another level? Because I tried a handstand. In that time, I started watching YouTube. And when I started watching YouTube, and Chris Harry at that time, he can do these incredible moves. How you can do all this flip and handstand push-ups, a 90 degree, and how is it even possible? Like physically, how you can do as a human something like that. And then I start experimenting with my body, and I start completely letting go on what was the stress, the noise, and all these hostile problems. And while I was when I was working on myself, I find a guy who came to my place and say, man, I really love what you're doing. You put so much energy. You're so good with everything. You create something amazing. And I tell him, look, everything is nice, but the person that I'm with, I don't feel like anymore, because it seems like I was going into one direction. He still thought that I'm a person that we know 14 years ago. So he was still going in the other direction. So he was still drinking, smoking, but I didn't want to go there. And this is why I tell him, look, everything is nice, but I don't feel anymore this. And he said, look, how much this person would like to take a business? In the time, I think was like 2 million baht. And I said, okay, give me 2 days. I just met the guy. We have 2 talks. He believed in everything I say. In 2 days he come, you have 50,000 pounds on your account. And what happened is that I just go, bring to the guy, and I don't know how much it was, that 1.5 million, I don't know. And I say, okay, look, I don't feel anymore because you want to go this. I think the best thing is to simply separate. And then I start doing this place with this guy. And after 2 years or 1 year, we become very famous, 1 year, but then we lose everything. Because in this time, they come up with some license that we didn't have, the owner of the building didn't make for us, even though she told us. And simply, again, the life pushed me down. It means we lose everything, we lose the name, we lose the business. We just paid the building that was like a 15,000 euro, 1 month before, for 1 year of rent. And we just win the Hostel of the Year 2017, and they close everything. They put me that I was guilty to make illegal business, and my whole dream stopped. Now the only thing I have, and my wife my lady that I just start a new relationship with, get pregnant.
Oh, man.
And so this is, I think, second or third time when the life simply
knocked down your business, knocked down your ability to sustain yourself.
Exactly.
In the midst of you beginning a family, not in your home country.
Yes. And this is where I learned the most pressure thing of all. I think that was the best thing that can ever happen to me, because I learned that the life normally, many times we go through life saying that, why this is happening to me? Oh my God, he don't like me. Or you will blame other people for whatever happened to you in your life. And this is it's being in like a victim mentality.
Yeah.
It's not taking action of you are your creator of your life. So most of the time like this, it happened for you, not against you. Because I was not aligned with who I was, who I need to become, what I want to be. Because my purpose was not serving alcohol to young people and still become more and more stupid. My purpose was more bigger. First, working. This is why I leave everything. And this break give me the time to say, okay, take a little bit more time, start working on yourself and start learning something. And then we again reopen this place. This time, after a few months, we bring some chef from Italy and we make a handmade pasta and everything with this new partner. And everything is amazing. And then after a few months, the lady of the building say, look, we need to take the building off because she want to do something with her son. I don't know. So this is the second time in Thailand that we lose everything.
Wow.
And my son, I think, was just born. So it means another thing. It means that I have to go to the house that I have in that time when I just built my first official calisthenics park, because I decided that I want to go away from the commercial gym and really go deep into learning what movement, when calisthenics, it means mastering my own body weight. Because when I go to the gym, for how much beautiful it is, I love people. People give me energy. But there is a lot of distraction. Like if you're on the mission to do something for yourself today, the chances of you doing something today is very little. If you go there, you start talking, and it's beautiful. But is this productive for you where you want to become? Well, if it comes to calisthenics, it was more specific into progression. Well, if I want to do specific progression for handstand push, I cannot wait 10 minutes to talk with somebody else and then 10 minutes and how long I need to stay there, So I decided to create my own gym when it comes to put the rings and all the bars. And then 2 months later, I need to give up the house because I didn't have 10,000 baht, 200 something euro to pay the rent. And that was, as a man, one of the big slaps again, because I just had a son, and my wife in that time told me, you need to let it go, and we need to go and live in the shop. She had a shop, and this is why I say most of the time we judge people for who they are and what they do, but I believe that this is my mentality. This is why I become so obsessed and strong in what I want to create, what I'm creating, what we're already creating, and is to give people chance to go through all the shit, go through all this pain, go through all the things that the life will always put you down, and simply give you the tools, right, to make yourself better emotionally, mentally, physically, to become more strong so that you can pass this crazy daily life. So this is why we went a little bit long, I think, when it comes to different details, and there are many things that I didn't talk to many people. But I think it's very deep, because some things you have to go through something very hard to talk. This is why you need experience. You know, it's powerful.
Yeah. I think that's a lot. I didn't actually.
Yes.
I didn't know it was.
The details
of your story. Yeah, no. I just think, based on your life experience, it's clear why you're such a good teacher, because I think one of the biggest things a personal trainer or a coach does for someone is it holds them accountable. It gives them the ability to show up for themselves, and they fuel them with their own belief, right? And you have gone through some serious shit. You've had some not small obstacles to overcome, serious challenges, more than I've gone through. And you're a example of pushing through all excuses to build whatever you want, your business here, your body, your ability to do these incredible skills. You had
because
your
the
bone
purpose is so
protrusion,
strong.
double protrusion, your elbow, your wrist injuries, and then all of these things. You were skinny, you didn't know what you were doing. You had a son, your business got shut down, and you kept getting back up and growing stronger every time. And that's what makes you so capable of teaching and passing that on to other people.
Thank you.
I mean, I just really want to take a moment to acknowledge that.
I believe that we are very little when it comes to knowledge. It's always so beautiful. That's the beauty of life, that we have to learn. And this is the beauty why 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I didn't know. I just know that movement is something that saved my life from being hit by so many different things. And when I talk about movement, everything is movement. Everything is calisthenics. Everything can be qigong. There is in every single practice, you will need to first become aware of what you're doing, feel, breathe, and then you will add whatever kind of movement you will do. But it made me realize, wow, if this movement is healing, and also the healer is somebody who normally go through his own journey, find the way out, and then try to teach it to people.
Yep.
Well, I find it in many hard ways. Mm-hmm. And this is why I get obsessed when it comes to so many details, because there are also many people who learn in different ways. Many times, I also see us coaches trying to show the same move to this was my biggest mistake in the beginning, but this is all about experience. So now I'm still having around 6 classes a day, 6 days a week. So it means there was a time that I make 7 to 8 classes a day. So even if I take a medium of 5 classes a week, it means it's 25 by a month. It means it's 170 something by, 1,500 by a year. Yeah. So it means in 6 years that I'm doing this, how many thousands of classes I made. But in the same time, I see that something was wrong in me, because I was trying to teach the same thing that I know to everybody. But then, there are people who will learn when you simply show them, right? With a visual point. Mm-hmm. So you just say, okay, this is your path. I want you to place your leg here, go down and do the lunge, Mm-hmm. They're a person who will never understand this type of coaching. You have to maybe tell them, okay, feel that your right leg is in front of you, feel that you're, so this is again different. So there is many ways of coaching. So you need to understand, first of all, who is the person in front of you. But before knowing who is the person in front of you, if you ask to whoever you work with and coach, and you ask them, okay, what is your goal? Well, I discover by myself that most of us, we don't know what a goal is.
Yeah.
But I want to get fit, I want to lose weight, yes. But then we go through the movement and I understand, wow, you don't even know how you're breathing. You don't even see that your hip is out of alignment. Your feet, your main point to the ground is so stressed out that they pull the whole knee inside, they pull the whole hip inside. So it means it's not about building, we can still build your strength and build a muscle, but there is much deeper work than we have to do. Many people are, in base of how they stand, the posture, everything is completely, there is so much that we never pay attention, we don't know. Because most of the time, everything that is unknown is scary for us as humans, again. Yeah, this is why we don't go into unknown, we don't do new things, only if somebody show us. Because if we do it, we can get injured. So that was the whole, I get obsessed by these details of, wow, am I the only one who pay attention for myself? And then I experience them on myself. And first I start with calisthenics was my passion. But then I understand, okay, how you can coach these to people? Well, first of all, to become a personal trainer, get certified. So in 2019, I did a fitness instructor. It was a strength and conditioning, and nothing to do with calisthenics. It's nothing to do with handstands and holding position for time. There was 32 different coachings that I need to go through again at my 35 years of age. After all the mess that happened to me, go back to train, and learn, like incredible how to work with people, like people who have different problems when it comes to the body. What do you have to do? And then I was like, wow, it's nothing to do with calisthenics and my passion. So then from strength and conditioning, I went deeper into body awareness. This is why we're creating now, we have a body connection method, combining all of these studies in all of these years together to create something much powerful that can change someone's life when it comes to movement. Because you will become aware in what you're doing. It's not about me showing you a push-up. I can still show you, but my goal is to first, you need to understand how you do, what you do, how it works, how you can bring it to another level, how you can make it yours. So it's, yeah.
I think awareness is key because it's essentially the intelligence of the universe itself. Like when you become aware, the universal intelligence is open to you. It's not so much the mind that's controlling the body. The body is filled with the intelligence that moves it on its own. So it's able to correct itself. I think you're completely right that it's not a copy-paste solution. You can't just take...
In the beginning it was.
It's not a one-size... Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I was trying to do that, but didn't work.
Like for my own coaching, I used to have okay, here's the program. This is what we're going to do.
Exactly.
And now it's I don't even show that. I'm like,
exactly.
No, I need to know you first, and I need to figure out what you need. So being able to be fluid and flexible with each person that's in front of you is huge, and that requires an extreme attention to detail. And
it's a journey.
You have to know it yourself so that you can then present it to them and guide them into understanding it on their own. So is that kind of like the fundamental piece of body connection, is bringing people aware, making people aware of their bodies, connecting them to it, and then giving them a structure to follow that allows them to reach whatever goals they have?
Yes. So thank you so do you say becoming aware of their body? What I see the most problem of today, we want to go here. I want to learn a handstand. Perfect. In this actual moment, what can you do? What is your weakness? What is your struggle? What is your injury? Can your body even open the shoulders? Right? Okay, how much time do you want to dedicate to this goal? Because consistency or even frequency, if I will train handstand once a week, I will still get it, but chance of me getting is going to be much longer. Then, okay, now that we have this timing, well, how we can spread this to the time? And another thing is that many people think that you as a coach come inside and that's it, you're going to do. No. I want you to become aware, first of all, where you are. Acknowledge to yourself, not to me, where you are, what can you do? Okay, from here, how we can make your body stronger and more open, more flexible, so that you can start building awareness and movement, and then slowly, progressively build up. Because there is no way for you to add external weight if you're not able to even move your own body weight. To understand the mechanics, to understand how to place the scapula, how to stabilize the shoulders. So there is so many things, and there is no right or wrong. You can do it as you see people doing crazy stuff in the gym. But if you add technique, and if you add more awareness into what you're doing, there is much more faster recovery. And then we have specificity in what and how. So I think that will be the first stage, and then in base of whatever people need, and then we need to see how we can get there.
And I think what you said, like, where are you now? What are your weaknesses now? And are you willing to put in the time to even get to a foundational level to begin the real hard, the real work?
Yes.
And I think a lot of people, it's like even like building a business or a relationship. If you actually knew how much time it was going to take to get even halfway up the mountain, would you even start?
And exactly. Most people don't even understand that I'm trying to show you something that it took me 6 years of damaging my body and going through so many things so that you can have 2 minutes of demonstration because there is really difficult for some people to really pay attention to what they do. This is why for many years I filmed myself when it comes to not posting on Instagram, but to understand where and how the body works. After 5 years, oh wow, it's the shoulder, okay, press, lift the scapula, bring it up, engage the core, everything changed. Because yes, one is when it comes to build a strong body, one is when it comes to recover from injury, of rehabilitation, and then going to strength and then build a skill. Because when it comes to learning the skill, this you have to put your work, you have to want to be ready for transformation. Because you're gonna go through challenges. You're gonna go through times when there is not going to be any change. It seems like there is not going to be any change because it takes time and progression. And if you're not consistent enough and you do a right progression, you will never go to the next level. Because the body naturally, first of all, the body want to kind of speed up. So it means if I hold a position, it's very easy for me to lean a little bit more. I don't realize that I lose the position of the scapula, and I simply, I lean more, I will put maybe more weight, but I'm not doing it correctly. I'm learning in a different way. So it's really be humble, put the ego on the side and say, okay, this is my first step. Okay, this is why we're building foundation. And this is why in the Body Connection now we create the platform that is actually a Reconnect app. It's simply a platform, digital platform, when we allowed coaches to create, it's a space for coaches to create the challenges and programs for the body, mind, and soul. And my own personal challenge is going to be 30 days of calisthenics. And these 30 days of calisthenics, my first 10 days, it's simply to show you day by day the foundations. Without the foundations, there is nothing else that you can build. Foundation, you want to build a house, you need foundations. You can save money on foundation, then you can invest in furniture, maybe one day will fall down. The foundation are the key. How everything works, how you make it stronger. It's really, really powerful, but most of us are kind of, okay, I have 1 month, I want to go there. Well, are you willing? Because I find people who even work with me 6 years, they still are with me 3 times, 4 times. They still are with me for all these years. And then I find people who are even with me 1 year or 1 month or 10 days, but the level of how they're hungry to learn, it makes me love this job, because this is why we're here. I'm not here. If I was here to make money, I can still be the manager in big company and make money. But I'm here, first of all, for my own purpose, to make myself better every day. That's my mission. The second purpose is to give at least one small change to somebody to become better. Through a daily practice, to a simply meditation, to a breath work. This is the idea why we bring different coaches. Because each one of us, for how much we are good, we can be limited in some specific area. When it comes to body, mind, and soul, it's holistic wellness is a little bit more open. So there is meditation, breath work, right? Qigong. There is many practices that we can implement to simply be more present, to simply start moving the energy, to simply start feeling, breathing, and really working deep into ourselves. So
I love that, man. And the impact that people have had on me as I've gone through my own, dark chapters of depression and just terrible stuff, that you experience. The people that got me out were the people I saw online, the interviews I watched, the people putting out inspiring content.
And we're still watching this. We still listen to this.
Still, man. So I think it's really important to not devalue the impact that you have on someone's life, even if it's just a personal training session, because that will compound, right? Yeah. And then, I think what you were talking about with this hunger, some people just have this hunger to learn. And I really think that comes from this excitement that you feel when you reach a goal. Like when you've done baby step progressions for a certain amount of time, for a long time, and then you get to the next level.
It's a very satisfying thing because you did the work.
Yeah. And then that is what makes you hungry to keep doing those small little seeds, watering it. So
this is how
eventually the flower will blossom, right?
Like, this is why also the discipline is different than simply being motivated. Because 100%. there was a poster that I made a few years ago that was in my old studio, when I say you will not always be motivated, but you need to learn how to be disciplined. Because every day you wake up, right? The most powerful thing is to show up. Your motivation will always be up and down, but if you simply show up, whatever you do, even sitting and working, even being present, it can be 10%, but it's not zero. Tomorrow maybe it's going to be 90, and then it means that you still keep moving and finding in base of your, I will say not need, but in base of your energy levels, you're able to shift this and to completely be into another state when from 10 you're going to go into 110. It's very easy, but if you lose this momentum, it's much more difficult to get back. And this is actually very tricky. And you say something about depression, and there was a time that even recently, I went down and there was a really dark place. It's scary because nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything it's 5-6 years I've been working to this. I've been going against my family, against people. What are you crazy? What are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing, man. I just have a feeling that I want to make something to change someone's life. The impact, man, the impact, And then I said to myself, what am I doing? Why am I investing so much in this, so much money, so much effort? Man, this is years. And then I see somebody around and say, man, thank you for the words of your video yesterday. And it's powerful, man. Thank you. Wow, you give me hope. And then you say, wow. Because many times as a creator, right, you will stop posting. You will also say, who need to hear this? Well, who need to hear will hear. It's not your business actually to know who need to hear this. It is a bit when it comes to content, but you have to believe in the message that you have to share. And there is always somebody who have to believe. This is why I say if one day this is going to be a platform, this is a platform that have different coachings when it comes to body, mind, and soul. Well, same like in daily life, I can be the best coach to show you the best movements. You need to find what works for you. I can give you the best 6 months coaching, 5 years coaching. Maybe in 1 year, you're going to fall in love in golf. Maybe you're still going to do some fitness, but you're going to give priority to boxing, and there's nothing wrong. This is the beauty of life. This is the beauty of diversity, can we say? We are evolving, we're adapting, right? We're learning, we're exploring. This is the beauty of life. And this is why we need to keep playing. Playing there is not only one. Before, for me, it was like, oh, calisthenics. No. This is now why I become movement. Because movement, it's everything. Movement is medicine, is everything, man. That's simply if I will be simply start breathing and simply slowly start moving, this is movement. And I feel alive. It's.
I like to say that movement never happens in the past or the future.
Exactly.
Movement only happens now.
That's powerful.
If you're aware of movement, you're aware of the present moment.
Exactly.
That's the only thing that's real.
Thank you. You know why this is powerful? Because today, it's very, very difficult for now the generations of nowadays to understand what it means present in the moment. Because most of us, they're living the future in the past. It means they're going into depressed, right? They're depressed. It's always some memories of the back that decide whatever they're doing. There are people who are going too much in overthinking or too much in the past, in the future, and this is where the anxiety, exactly. And it's really difficult for you to be in present moment and to create something for your future. But the good thing, and the only one thing that you will ever have, it's simply a moment. The moment or the now is something you will have always for all your life. It's just now, right? 1 second ago doesn't exist,
Yeah, it's like, okay, how long does it take me to move my hand from here to here?
Yeah.
Okay, that was 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's still now. It's now. It's still now.
Exactly.
Like,
How you decide
time
to
doesn't
live.
actually exist. It's always the same moment.
Exactly.
We have these memories of what's happened and then the imagination of the future, but ultimately, if you can't be happy now, you never will be.
Exactly. And this is where the choice, I think we as a human, we have the power of the choice. And the choice is something that is going to bring, like a ripple, everything what happened next. Like now in this moment, right? It's up to you, your choice. Obviously, it depends how you feel. It depends a lot of your emotions and state of being, how you feel, to bring it to the next step. Because if you feel sad, well, what your choice can be? Maybe you can do something, not stupid, but something that is going to bring you to something even more stupid. Like it's the ripple with the negative, right? So sometimes you have to think greater than how you feel so that you can make this small spark and change for something better to come, right? Because my choice now, if I choose to, I'm sad, I'm crying, yes, it can happen, but how I can create something powerful and positive in that moment? I'm just going to go into a low vibration, and then if I'm lucky, I'm going to get up, but maybe it's going to hit me even more. And sometimes when you play it with this line of going too much low, same like drugs, same like alcohol, people who, yes, they find themselves running away from everything. I also try, so that you can, it's nice, yes. I also like to go outside, have a glass of wine, yes. But I know that after 9 p.m., I must be home. 9:30, I want to sleep because I'm on a mission. And it's powerful, and but it's kind of a, I will not say obsession, but you need to be responsible for your own self in your own life, because your choice, it's all about choice. And if I see the animals, maybe they don't have so much of the choice most of the time. So as a human, we have this. So yeah.
I fully agree.
It's powerful, yeah.
I think the other thing that has really been impactful for me with movement is understanding the physiological effect it has on the body and the neurological effect. So this awareness of the body, it's not just like a simple, like, I'm gonna just change my focus from thinking to awareness of sensations. You're literally taking neurological resources from the part of the brain that creates time, right? It remembers memories and it creates regrets about them, and then it has projections of the future, the default mode network. That's the engine of anxiety and depression and self-referential thought loops and all this crap that happens. When you become aware of the body, you're taking those neural resources and reallocating them to the anterior insula, which is where sensations are integrated with emotions and cognition. This is where
creation also can happen.
Yeah, so it completely pulls you away from the anxiety spirals and all the egotistical nonsense.
But you have to practice. Exactly.
That's the biggest thing.
Becoming aware.
You have to remember to do it. And if you can remember to do it, okay, I'm gonna wake up in the morning, I'm gonna meditate for 10 minutes. Yeah. That's great. Great place to start. But if you don't take that with you into day-to-day life, then it's gonna take a long time for your patterns to be reprogrammed.
That's a really good point. I have people who ask me, wow, how is it possible that before you was only you, handstand, you're doing all these calisthenics, and now you talk about meditation. I see in the video meditation. What? Well, first of all, as I said before, we wake up in the morning, there is so much going on. There is things that you will never pay attention because they just happen automatically. The only way for you to shut up all the noise and to create something new or for your future, right? How many they say? How many thoughts a day we have?
80,000.
Yeah, 80,000, and from I think 90% of them or 95% is the same thoughts that we had the days and day before.
Right. Habitual
And
thought loops.
and we have this, and it means that the thoughts that they're always the same, but the one that you add emotions and feelings right into it, they're the one that you give them the life then, right? So this is why you need to be aware of what you think and how we think.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can give life to something terrible, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And when that's
So,
fueled with
yeah,
emotion,
yeah.
it creates
Exactly,
like
exactly,
chemicals that
exactly.
physiologically change you, and then repeat those thoughts.
Exactly,
even more.
because then you go back into the memory, into the certain places, certain people, and it can be very triggering.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, wow, actually, a few years ago, 2022, I made 10 weeks of a meditation and breathwork teach and training course. And this is when things become more interesting because I was always busy, always same, 6-7 classes a day. And then I need to study in the night every day. And then Saturday, we had a little bit bigger call, I think. And then Sunday was free for 10 weeks. And I managed to do that.
Wow.
And it was really beautiful because it showed me that, wow, me sitting there with all the mess that happened, and I had to sit with somebody else to guide him into meditation, to a person that I don't even know. I don't even know how to talk in meditation, guide a meditation. You crazy? And then I simply surrendered. I was like, it made me understand, first of all, how simply with breathing, you can calm everything down. Simply going to breathing, the whole, whatever you feel before, if you're angry, if you're sad, if you work out a lot, everything happens with the breathing. The breathing is the main, even before you move. Like if you start breathing, even when you sit, it changed the whole chemistry of whatever you can become and be and give in that moment. So I was like, wow, I always breathe. I didn't know it was so important. Mm-hmm. And for most of us, most people, we don't even know. We wake up in the morning and we just breathe small breaths. We don't even breathe through the nose. We breathe through the mouth. And it's really kind of a sad. Mm-hmm. And we talked before about today we have so many things, and seems like whoever is giving us whatever task today in this beautiful life, they try to keep us away from becoming aware, keeping us away from eating healthy, keeping us away from meditating, learning how to do different things for us, right?
You mean just mainstream culture and all?
I mean, there is a lot of manipulation and distraction in today's world, even from social media, from news, from presidents, from everything is kind of made up, right?
Yeah, they don't want you to find your peace and power.
That COVID and all this invented for, okay?
Yeah.
But they don't want you to find it because they know when people can become powerful. And also when people are together, they're becoming powerful. So I believe that this completely changed. And also because whoever saw me and have a chance to work with me, I change a lot when it comes. I'm always a person who smile and always kind of be the same, but I become more mature, and my vision and my goals, the people, the presence, the message, everything I share, because I choose to go into a different direction. And this is why I will not resonate with person that I was a few years ago. And nothing bad about that, because what you was thinking 1 month ago, 1 minute ago, it was right in that time, in that moment. Same for me, same, I will take experience of my father. In that time, the action of him grabbing him was wrong. But there is nothing else that he couldn't do, because there was he act from emotion and he cannot stop himself. So I believe that all these things are connected, you know, and it's really not easy. I think if you think from perspective of how, it's one of the hardest thing, right? Imagine that it's two of us, right? It's really difficult for you to have 100% of the right if you talk with me, right? You will never be 100% right. You will have your opinion, I will have mine, right? If you take a cat and you take a human, and even the cat, you will not have 100% against the cat. You take a baby will always say something. Cat will turn around and go away. What I'm trying to say is that you cannot control other people. You can never 100% be in control, obviously, if you're not a media. But the only one thing that you should and could control is your own life, your own emotions, your own thoughts, and even that, your own life. it's the hardest challenge of the whole humanity. We spend a lifetime trying to deal with this thing, and it's really difficult. And it's constant challenge. So no,
So yeah, couldn't agree more.
yeah,
I think it's kind of the ultimate challenge is figuring out who you are, which, you talked about discipline earlier. Discipline comes from the word disciple. Disciple means to follow someone.
Follow, exactly.
Right? So who are you following when you're disciplined?
exactly.
You're following yourself, which means you have to know who you are. And so often we confuse the thoughts in our heads and the perspectives and the voices and the narrations of you're not good enough, you can't do that. We confuse those thoughts with who we are.
And you can maybe pick up one of them and say, yes, I'm that.
Right, and you identify with them.
Yeah.
And then you're completely fooled.
Yeah.
And so you live your life following these voices in your head.
That is not even you, that is not even you. Exactly.
You're aware of those voices. You can't be the voice if you're aware of it as well. So I think it's crucial, because the only way to understand that you're not those voices is to create space between you and the voices. And how do you do that?
Detach also,
you have to go into stillness. You have to go into meditation to create the space, create the freedom. And so, you're talking about, the only thing you can control is yourself.
You should.
Your
but
effort, your attitude, right?
Yes.
Your thoughts, your intentions, your beliefs. You sculpt that. And so, that's obviously what you're promoting here. This is what you are teaching to your clients every day. This is what all the coaches that you're bringing together are going to be able to share. Which, to wrap up, I'd love to kind of get a feel for what your vision is for this becoming in the next 2, 3, 5 years, and what people can really, not to have expectations, but what can people see happening for them by joining the body connection movement?
Okay, so my message, it will be, first of all, show the people, right? There are so many simple ways of you taking care of yourself, of your mental being, emotional being, physical and spiritual. Most of the time, because I see my own coaches, I have so many clients, we are putting time into ourselves, and the first thing we say, I don't have time for this, I don't have time, it's difficult for me to eat healthy, it's difficult for me. What I discover, it's nothing new, but what I discovered through my own life and all these people, that most of us are struggling in different areas of life. And the reason why we cannot focus, because we make it very complicated. And I put, for example, if I will say exercise, it's 1 hour a day, 1.5 hours until I go to the gym. This is why I start with body weight. This is why I say, no, I would like to learn how to master the body weight. And then I would like to bring the experience of wellness into your own home. This is how I work through products. This is when I want to create something where people can simply have a product, scan, and go directly into the workouts and give them the chance, obviously for free. And then if they want to know something more, go into a 30-day challenge, or even simply going through a real life transformation. Yes, this is something more specific. They can work with all coaches. But my idea is to simply give small guidance through daily practices that are taking very little effort and very little time. But the most important is to really make people understand how to become aware through movement, how to become more present through bodyweight movements, through meditation, breathwork, qigong, and then how to implement. Because, like I said before, my goal is not to teach you the method that you're gonna make it. That's the whole point. It's to show you what can be a different possibility for you. You pick up and choose whatever works for you and make it your own. Because at the end of the day, it's really simple. If you learn how to take care of yourself, you need to make yourself a priority to spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you want for yourself. That will be the key. So this is what I saw from all my coaches. And then I say, okay, I will try to come up with something that helped me, that is helping me still every day. To say, okay, I don't feel like training for 1 hour, perfect. Let me spend these 5 minutes into simply mobility. What is mobility? Well, simply to go down on the floor, open your body, and simply few movements. Things that you don't know how much is gonna impact your life. Especially the more you go with the age, the more you get close. If you're somebody who is sitting a lot, if your posture is going down, the more we have the posture that is not aligned, the brain will receive signals that you're not safe. Your nervous system gonna suffer. There is so many complex things that happen in the human body This is why the movement is very important. And we want to bring this to you to show you, okay, you don't have a gym, well, let me show you how. You don't have equipment, let me show you how. You have a gym, perfect. We have a bodybuilding coach, the strength coach. You don't know what is mobility, flexibility, let me show you how to stretch and open your body. Would you like to know about the energy, about the self-discipline? Well, this is why the Qigong and then, self-discipline come in. This is the whole point. Showing our point of view of what we're coaching and simply bring it to you in a simple way. And in the next few years, the idea for us is to we're creating now the platform. There's gonna be people access when it comes to a simply mobile phone or even a laptop or computer. Spend whatever they have, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Making this 30-day challenge, because with 30-day challenge that we're introducing with every coach, right? It's simply to show you that it takes 30 days, so it takes 21 days for you to learn new habits, right? To make an habit. So try to invest in new 30 days. Give it a try of only 10 to 15 minutes a day. We're asking only that. But let me show you how through simple movement and through awareness in what we're going to explain, how we're going to explain, you can maybe discover something nice. Now, the investment is not big. We're talking about 50 euros, I think, per challenge for 30 days. And it gives you the whole perspective when it comes to each discipline of how we're explaining and creating things. Then, once when you have this, how you can bring it to the next level. So the whole idea is to bring a simplest way to people to don't have any excuse to say, okay, let me try this, well, maybe this, wow, I like more of this. Well, how I can now integrate to myself? Because also movement is something that you create. When we talk about flow, right, it's something that you create your own. And that's the beauty. There is no limit in the human mind, except the limits that we put into ourselves or things that people are putting to our brain, society, parents, or whoever it is, schools. And there is no limit when it comes to the human body or when it comes to movement. We see people doing one finger handstand with 75 pounds in the hand. And you say, this is not possible. Well, it's not. But if you go away from this line training, like straight line training, this is why I fell in love with movement. This is why I love animal flow. This is why I love Qigong. This is why I love Kung Fu. This is why and this is why it's all about movement. You need to find what works for you. The reason why I always say many times, you need to find what works for you, because the only way for you to become better is to find something that is sustainable for your life, for your daily life, for your practice, for your time, for your environment, to whatever you have, so that you can make it consistent, make it part of you.
Yep.
It's not a diet that is 7-day diet and then you die.
Nope.
And then you go even fatter than fatter. But it's about making your own. It means it needs to become part of you.
Yeah.
Your lifestyle, who you are.
Yeah.
This is who you are. I'm breathing, I'm living now. But it's not about brand. I'm living the inspiration for myself every day to wake up early, to make something that make me become better mentally, emotionally, physically. And this is my only concern, because otherwise, if I don't do that, I cannot give to other people around.
I think there's a concept that I think ties that together really nicely. It's about infinite games and finite games.
Yeah.
So finite games are games that you play with the intention of, winning the game, or you'll lose it, or you'll tie. And once those conditions are met, the game is over, right? Think about like board games or like computer games or sports. But then there's infinite games. Infinite games are games that are played with the intention to continue the game.
Yes.
So
longevity.
Longevity, exactly.
This is like training. You're making something
100%. Yeah. So, well, like obviously fitness, relationships, right? You don't win the game of marriage by like just getting married. You win that game by staying married. Business, you don't win that by just starting a business. You win it by staying in business. Health and fitness. You don't win that game by just getting in shape and then stopping it. You win the game by embodying a set of principles.
Yes, you need to learn how to recover. You need to learn how to eat good.
It's endless.
What works for you?
Yeah.
What is how your body react to everything? Like, is this good for you? Do you need to change? Do you need to? That's powerful.
Yeah.
And also another thing, we are also planning to have different places around the world when it comes to organizing retreats, because the coaches that we are now connecting and working with are going to open in different places. And we also defining the coaching when it comes to the body connection coaching method. So it means to teach coaches how to build and coach with awareness movement. So this is also very powerful.
So you're teaching people to take their lifetime of experience and whatever skill they've been practicing, learn how to become aware of the person in front of them and understand what that person needs based on where they are now, and then break down their teaching into a progression that slowly teaches it to whoever is in front of them.
It also depends what kind of teaching they have, because when it comes to teaching, we normally combine the holistic way of teaching. So it means the person that we want to have is, if I only have a personal trainer, right, he will need to believe and kind of be also a little bit into meditation and into breath work, right? Because this is when you start working also through your body, mind, and soul.
Yeah.
Because I'm not talking bad about my colleagues or myself too, but I know when I was only training for strength, man, I was lost.
Yeah.
That's my story. I was lost. It means the moment I start, it's all balance. You see, I try to make a mirror tattoo that say balance, because this is why body connection is all about. Sometimes you will work on strength. Sometimes we will just rest and work on your mind. You know, sometimes you just need to stretch. That's it. So that tomorrow you're gonna feel better again and you can move.
Because they're all connected.
Exactly.
Every movement is done with breath, and every movement happens through an awareness. Right?
Exactly.
So why would you only focus on?
And this is why not just
aspect?
fitness. This is why I don't. Before, when I made a fitness instructor that I still have it, 2019, it said fitness, and I was like, wow, I'm a fitness instructor. What does this mean?
Yeah.
And this is why I say no. I combine many different things together, and this is why it bring me here and make me understand. Wow. There is so much more to movements. You have to feel, you have to be aware, you have to, otherwise, what are you doing? Yeah. Why are you doing? And then also be always open to explore, because this is when we talk about mobility, you spend a few minutes a day to simply go on the floor. Explore your body. Explore the range of motion. Do you know what your body can do? You don't know. I don't know. This is why coaching, I don't know. What can you do? I don't know. Where you want to go? First of all, let me see where you're safe. Where your body is safe, I'm gonna send you to your maximum, but that you're safe. Once you're safe in this position, how we can push this limit and go to the next step. But if you're not safe, if you cannot do the movement correctly, there is no point for me, even if you have 1 month. What you want me to destroy your body for what? So this is why it's important to understand where you are now, okay, how you can move safe. Because the idea, even with body weight, when you know how to move, your body is your own gym. It doesn't matter where you are. Then, once you can master that, whatever you add, you see, we have weights, we have bars, we have dumbbells, we have barbells. You can use whatever you want, but at least you know how your body needs to be stabilized, how you can be safe, and then you can add whatever you want.
Yeah, I think what you said, being willing to explore, is huge, because the only time you're actually motivated to learn something new, well, maybe not the only time, one of the main times, is when you're genuinely curious about that thing. I think curiosity is the most important skill to develop. I mean, for relationships.
Yeah,
like
it's
if
like
you,
making questions.
Yeah. Well, it's not even like, it's like when you're genuinely curious about something, you want to learn more.
Yes.
You're eager. That's just the process. It happens naturally. It's not forced. And so that's, I think, an important skill to develop is being curious about what your body can do. And in order to be curious, you have to kind of see an example of who else can, what can other people do.
But this is why we make mistakes. This is why there was a time that I lose the weight, I gain the weight, I gain fat, I lose the muscle, I was so strong, I get weaker, because you testing, you're implementing with your own body.
Yeah.
What are the limits? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know.
I literally had a thought today. I was like, I almost see myself as a scientist, a body scientist.
That's another level.
I'm curious about what does it take for my body to be able to do this movement.
And listen to your body. Now it comes to the point where you need to listen and know what you can do, how you can do.
You can't be a scientist unless you're taking that data and able
you
to
need to be curious.
aware of it, record it, and then implement something new and then see how that responds. and
Exactly. This is
responds.
my whole feedback to all the things that happen to my own coaches, my own life, so many different clients. Because then you say, okay, wow, it's not like that. How 5 years that I'm thinking that is this way, and then today I realize it's another way.
Right.
There is always, like, imagine studies. How many studies now come out that say creatine is the best thing you can do? The partial rates are much better now than the full range of motion.
Yeah.
Like, the amazing things are coming now. So it means we have to, it's same like AI, right? We have to adapt, not just simply judge, this. You have to adapt, right? And say, okay, wow, there is another point of view. Well, maybe I still don't believe it. Or maybe I will try it. And many times it doesn't work for you because it's simply not natural for you to learn fast. You don't have this desire to learn fast, so you leave it on the side. Because when you're curious and when you really want to learn, the learning is much faster.
Yeah.
So yeah. Wow.
Well, fantastic conversation, man. I definitely have a clear vision just talking to you now. I already kind of knew what you were going for, but hearing your background and everything that you've overcome, like, genuinely, it's impressive and it's inspiring. So thank you for taking that, putting it into something that you can, share with other people who can benefit from it.
Yeah, I always felt this belief that there is something more. And it's not, yes, you are important, I'm important, but there is something bigger than us, like the universe, right? If I'm thinking about, if I wake up every day and I'm simply grateful, just grateful for maybe being alive, wake up every day to be here, to talk with you. This is the biggest gift that you can have. It's a gift to be alive, right? So the moment you simply be grateful for something that maybe doesn't even make sense, your whole energy, everything changed. And now you're in state of creation and not luck, right?
Yeah.
So it's simply part.
Tony Robbins says state, story, strategy.
Yeah.
So when you change your state, the story that you tell about your situation
Exactly.
in life
And which
changes.
one you choose to believe.
Yeah.
No, which one you choose.
There's many different
exactly.
ones. And then based on the one you choose, your whole strategy and action will
Your
be
personality create your personal reality,
changed.
right?
Yeah.
So it's powerful. And this is why I say, even if you spend your whole lifetime trying to understand and learn about the body and mind, I think is difficult. There is so much to know, and there is so many things we will not know, because we are not only two-dimensional beings, right? We are not only physical beings.
Last thing is this this point that one of my friends said a long time ago. It stuck with me. He said, "I feel like I finally found the perfect balance between learning, practicing, and teaching." And that struck me as really profound, because when you're learning, you're open, you're humble, you are listening to life, you're receiving. But listening doesn't really occur, learning doesn't really occur until it's reflected in action, which means you're practicing. And then when you learn something and you practice it and it has a positive impact on your life, it only makes sense.
Yes, but then it's
for
a
you
proof.
to share it and teach it.
But then it's also proof for you that it works.
But yeah, it's proof, and it doesn't mean that you stop learning and practicing just because you're teaching. You should always
to be curious
learn,
and
always practice, always teach. I think,
and this is the whole point here, I think.
Yeah.
It's simply because you just have to show up every day, choose every day to become better, to make yourself better. How you want to do it? Well, it depends on you. Would you like to dedicate 5 minutes a day? Would you like to try to close your eyes and be present and simply breathe and try to even meditate? Well, if you're somebody who also overthinks a lot, maybe meditation is very difficult for you because your mind will simply wander. Well, then simply focus on the breathing. When you focus on the breathing and more into breath work, it means the mind cannot wander. You need to count 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4. No, it's a simple tool that can really change. Because from having your mind that wander to having your mind to be present into breathing, right? So it can be a simple adjustment. This is why we're trying to create things that understand people which one you are. I don't know. Are you the person who are learning by visual way? Do I have to teach you by feeling? Or do I have to teach you by simply listen to me and say, okay, 3 steps back, 2 steps forward, go down, and that's it. So we don't know, you don't know, but we're trying to discover and obviously to give you guidance so that you can faster reach your goal. That's it. And there is another thing for the future. There are pods, but we cannot talk about that now. But that's incredible.
Nenad, I appreciate this conversation, man. Thank you for creating the body connection movement.
Thank you for being part of that. Yes.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yes, I'm actually very excited that you're part of that, because I think it was 4 years ago or something like that. First, it was 6 years ago. I made a PowerPoint presentation because at that time I didn't have a Mac. But I make a PowerPoint presentation when I put the idea of what is this, and I just put few people, I think it was 4 or 5 people that I really believe in that time. I love what they was doing, how I didn't know them. Odd was one of them, and I think you was one of them too. And I say, I would like these people to be inside this project. And today, after 6 years of the project, but today after 4 years of having this presentation, you're here with me, you're part of the project, you're...
It's powerful.
Making,
Manifestation.
Yeah, and same, like, you have to believe many people will stop you and block you. Well, my purpose is, why not? You cannot change the world. Well, that's why I want to start with me. Mm-hmm. I cannot change you. That's why I want to change me and then put something outside for you to maybe say, okay, it's your choice, your decision. You feel more overwhelmed? Would you like to learn how to pause, how to stop, how to become better, how to become stronger, how to become more disciplined, how to become more autonomous when it comes to choosing your own life? Well, this is what we have. You know?
Yeah. I'm excited, man.
Thank you so much.
Love you, bro.
You too.
All right.